And welcome back to Morning Drive. Time now for our Golf Channel Academy Coaches Series. We're pleased to welcome Kyle Morris, owner and the Director of Instruction at the Golf Room Indoor Training Studio in Dublin, Ohio. And Kyle recently was named to Golf Digest list of the 100 best teachers, young teachers in America, and also a former tour player. So this guy can not only teach, but he can play the game. Welcome to Morning Drive.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
So it's all about distance this week. We're seeing the world long drive. People at home licking their chops. They want more power. How do they get more distance?
Swing really, really hard and really fast.
Just hard, fast, just out of control.
Just as fast as you can go.
There's a method to the madness.
So the normal amateur, right? If they're trying to do what the long guys are doing, those guys, they kind of have a special technique of their own. But it's hard to replicate, right? So there's things that the amateur is doing that we can kind of help you guys in regards to how to optimize your ball flight. So the amateur at home is really minimizing the spin that's going through the air. You know, your attack angle might go up a little bit, help you guys swing a little bit on plane. Okay. So kind of where it really starts is that there's a difference in the golf swing of what is feel and what is real, right? So the real is that, you know, in the swing it goes lower body, chest, arms, club head, like that's the sequence. But there's a difference in what the player needs to feel. So a lot of times, you know, the way I kind of like to describe this, which was a story, you know, an analogy that my coach Mike Bender gave to me, was essentially if you had a motorcycle and you had a Jeep 4x4 and they were racing the quarter mile, right? The Jeep 4x4 has way more horsepower than the motorcycle, but the motorcycle will always win the quarter mile. So the point being is that my chest has a lot of strength, right? Like I can bench press a lot more than I can curl, but my arms and my wrists create a lot more speed into the golf ball. So what happens for the amateur is when they're swinging, right? So if I've got this impact bag to kind of, you know, illustrate this point. If the amateur is swinging and they're in an effort to try to create speed, if at the top they try to really swing their chest fast, what happens is this club is going to kind of come over the top this way. My shoulders are going to spin, my right shoulder is going to throw out, and that's, you know, if we were doing this at home like with a bag, or if you had like a you know, just like a pillow cushion or something in it, anything. This bag is going to kind of swivel left, which would be kind of an indication of like my golf ball slicing and having lots of spin, and in the wind it's just, it's done, right?
So that's common. That's common.
So the better way to feel, you know, a great drill is to take this bag and try to feel like at the top in your transition, you try to feel like your arms are getting a little bit more down in front of your body, which is going to shallow the shaft, to try to get this bag to feel like it goes out to the right a little bit, which is going to make your path be coming, you know, if we were hitting balls on, you know, the About Golf Simulator or on TrackMan or whatever, that club path would be traveling a little bit from the inside, and we have a positive angle of attack.
So the feel versus real, for a lot of players, they feel like they can get their arms working, but the reality is their chest is still moving and supporting.
I've never seen a player hit a shot like this.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So the body will release, and that body releasing will help kind of square the club face.
Now, what else can we do with this guy?
Right. So what we've got here is we've got this feedback drill, because we want to make it so that when the player is practicing on their own, the player can ultimately become their own coach, and they can kind of coach their own PGA Pro out of a job. So we need to make it so that when you're practicing at home, whatever it is that you're working on, you can make sure that you're actually doing it correctly rather than, you know, basing it upon a feeling, because sometimes feelings lie. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this noodle, right, this noodle and this shaft. You can use an alignment stick at home if you don't have one of these, but you're just going to stick it in the ground about a foot or so above the ground. And you're going to get in your posture so that this noodle is sitting about 3 or 4 fingers away from the driver, and then you're going to take a gigantic step in a straight line. And what you can see is that if you came down and you came over the top this way, kind of spinning your shoulders, you would hit that noodle. Whereas if you're coming from the inside here and trying to kind of create that positive angle of attack, you're going to miss the noodle.
There you go.
And it's going to give you kind of the feedback that you need, that, you know, saying that that thing is on plane.
I like that, because, you know, sometimes we see that noodle up here by the ball, and that's actually a little bit more pre-impact, which gets that shaft and the arms flattened up sooner.
Right. Yeah. So it's just the idea. I mean, if I take this shaft and I swing it as fast as I can with my chest, that's not very fast. But if I go arms and wrists, you can see how much louder that is. So if you didn't have this and you want to do something at home, there's a really great drill. You know, if you have like a, you know, a wife or, you know, a partner at the house, you could, what you could do is you can take your arm, turn the club around like this, And what you're going to do is most amateurs, when you guys do this and you say, hey, let me hold it, you're going to take the club and you're going to swing and you're going to pull. And what that's showing is that your right shoulder is throwing out. You're opening your chest. That's going to kind of throw it over. So what you're going to try to do is swing the club and get this club to fold right between like your neck and try to keep this really, really loose, right? So you're kind of opening up your hips and feeling kind of like you're swinging your arms and keeping your chest a little bit more square.
Let's do one more here. Let's let one loose.
Okay.
Long drive, the finals.
You want full speed or half speed?
Let's do it, full speed.
All right. Just
long drive is tonight. The finals, men and women on Golf Channel.
See if maybe I could qualify for the LPGA long drive.
Kyle Moore's going to post the first number.
There you go. Let's see it.
Those arms working. There you go. Good stuff. See, I told you, folks, he can not only teach the game, he's got a golf swing, too. He's played the tour. Great stuff.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. And for more instruction like that, we'll be posting new tips with Kyle all week long on the Golf Channel Academy Facebook and Twitter pages. And to book a lesson with Kyle or find a coach near you, go to golfchannelacademy.com.